Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to get your foundation to look absolutely flawless and basically last all day. This is my trick. I don't even call it a trick. It's my foundation routine for every makeup look I do. No matter if it is a very minimal look with like no lashes, no eyeshadow, just mascara, or if it's a full-on glam look, this process doesn't change. And I'm doing this because I had done a poll about 2 weeks ago and this was the second most requested video. So I hope that this is useful and helpful for a lot of you. And I'm going to touch on a few important factors that make a difference when it comes to your specific foundation application. Ideally, you would grab 1 or 2 things that will apply to you and make that work for you specifically. But ideally, there's a theory that applies across all boards when it comes to foundation application. The first thing is obviously having a clean face. Having a clean face free of previous makeup from the night before or whatever the case may be, and just a cleansed face with only your skincare products, let's say a serum, a toner serum and moisturizer, and then so that you have the perfect base for your primer, foundation and whatever else will follow after that. My foundation application starts from my skin. So in order for your foundation to look flawless, you have to work on your skin. If your skin is bumpy, your foundation will be bumpy. Foundation doesn't take away pimples, that doesn't take away acne, it merely covers it up. So it's really important to know your skin type and the condition of your skin. Just be aware of it. If it means going to a dermatologist and seeing what your skin type is, if it's acknowledging the fact that you do have acne, you do have bumps, you do have dermatitis, you know, that'll obviously affect and change the products you use, how much you apply, and the way you apply your foundation. I have combination skin, so I have an oily T-zone and a dry U-zone, and then I have dehydrated skin, so it feels quite tight and dry when I don't properly moisturize or layer on my serums the way I'm supposed to, and that will then affect the way my foundation feels on my skin. If I didn't properly moisturize, I didn't layer my serums on properly, my foundation is not going to sit right, it won't feel right on my skin, and it'll be itching to take it off by noon. So it's important for me when I am wearing makeup that day that I do my skincare properly so that I don't feel the urge to keep on spritzing my face or dabbing my face with powder because I didn't do my skincare routine properly. The second thing then is to, once you've identified your skin type, is to then pick the correct primer for you. So I have never been a lover of primers. I have hundreds of them, but I just think that I am someone who I tend to focus on the hydration aspect of my skin. There are a lot of these primers which have this gelish consistency and these weird consistencies that leave my skin feeling very dry, and it's quite uncomfortable for me. So I prefer primers that resemble the texture of a moisturizer, and if it happens to mattify, if it happens to illuminate my skin in the process, fine. But I think that for me, I just prefer that the primer that is more moisturizing and hydrating than it is, you know, making my makeup last all day. When I do my makeup tutorials, you see me often begin by spritzing my face with this. So I prefer using a makeup prepping spray as a primer. They're very low maintenance, and it gives me that boost of hydration. And this is the Urban Decay Rebound Collagen Infused Primer. This just allows me to regulate the amount of product I use. So if I did do toner, serum, maybe 2 serums and a moisturizer and an SPF for during the day, I'll probably use this to prime my face, just because it's a very thin layer of product, but at the same time I know I'm getting hydrated and my skin is ready for foundation. Okay, so once this is settled down, I begin by applying my foundation. So for today's video, I'm going to be using this foundation from NYX Cosmetics, and this is the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. I have a few foundations on rotation. There are a few foundations that I have come to love over the last couple of years, but a definite favorite for me is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. And once again, the foundation you choose is dependent on your skin type and your skin condition. If you are someone with oily or combination skin, you probably want a mattifying foundation. If you have severely dry, compromised skin, you might want a foundation that is just about radiance and dewiness and has skincare benefits. I have combination skin, so the majority of my foundations are mattifying foundations. I also prefer foundations that are medium to full coverage and medium buildable foundations as well. So now you've decided on your foundation. Now it's time to decide on the kind of tool that you use. The very light to medium coverage foundations do really well with these like flat foundation brushes or the stippling brushes, but also if you are looking to intensify the coverage of your foundation, then a buffing brush such as this, which is my absolute favorite brush, is really great to use. This is the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Blurring Brush. And then a lot of people also like to use a beauty blender to apply their foundation. For me, because I'm using a medium buildable foundation today, I'm going to be using my Urban Decay Optical Illusion Blurring Brush. I'm just gonna blend this out. What you are noticing is that I'm working in circular motions, buffing the product into my skin. So this is one layer of foundation. I'm gonna go in with a second layer around my cheek area because like I said, it's a medium foundation, but it is also buildable. I go over everything again just to move whatever needs to be moved so it can settle in and so that it can stay there basically for the whole day. I'm going to go in with concealer because obviously foundation, you want to add back the dimension it took away because my face obviously looks quite flat. And I'm going to go in with my favorites, which is the LA Girl Pro HD Concealer. And this is my concealer for almost any foundation formula. So one thing I've noticed when using concealers, when picking your concealers and your foundation, is that those formulas have to gel together for your foundation to also cooperate with you the whole day. The other day I had used a very dewy foundation with a very, which is also high coverage, with a extremely high coverage mattifying concealer. Those two textures and formulas didn't work well together. I did everything that I should do in terms of baking and setting. By an hour later, I had begun to separate on my chin, and that's when it occurred to me that those two formulas do not work well together. I had tried it out previously, I had the same experience, and that confirmed it on Saturday. And I'm just gonna conceal the way I normally do. This is where I find a lot of people go wrong, and this is why I find a lot of people complain about the fact that their foundation isn't lasting, it creases, it settles in their frown lines, laugh lines, whatever the case may be. With any product, guys, that is not a powder, so any product that is a fluid, cream, water-based, oil-based, whatever the case might be, it needs to be set with a powder. The kind of powder you choose is totally up to you, but I have found that it also once again contributes to the longevity of your foundation. This is where I don't waste time in terms of setting, because as I'm talking now and as I'm blinking and having expression on my face, my concealer is settling into lines in which I don't want it to settle into. This is where you now set and set or bake. What you're looking for is a loose, translucent setting powder or a loose banana powder if you have color, if you are a woman of color. I find that banana powders are so flattering on our skin tone. It gives us this caramel sort of finish to our skin. And there are a few loose setting translucent powders that also work without giving us that horrible flashback. I have used and loved the Laura Mercier translucent powder for the longest time, and it's one that I always go back to and purchase. Before I got my hands on Laura Mercier, I was using the Black Opal Deluxe finishing powder, which is also phenomenal. It gives your skin a very smooth finish, but this is very luxurious and finely milled, and it feels so good on the skin. There are a couple of online boutiques in South Africa that have Laura Mercier. There's Mika, there's Muse Beauty, there's Skins Cosmetics, and in Joburg, in Sandton, there's a Skins Cosmetics store. So that has Laura Mercier as well, so you can go and check that out as well. So there's a lot to choose from. LA Girl, I tried that one time, horrible flashback, I wouldn't recommend it for you. Yeah, Maybelline, Black Opal, Laura Mercier, Sacha Buttercup, Bay Night Powder are all favorites, and I think that you should try them if you can get your hands on them. In order to avoid smile lines, you just really want to keep your face as still as possible when you're doing this, and get your powder up as high as possible, as close to your eye as possible, while also looking up. So in the corner and up as well. This Real Technique sponge is a favorite because it has a pointy bit at the top here, allowing you to get as close to your inner corner as possible. When it comes to using the loose setting powder, we're just using this on the areas we applied concealer. Make sure you take your powder and you go in these valleys here around your nostril, because that's also where our foundation tends to separate first, especially if you have combination skin. You want to set your forehead, and I take this all the way up, and my chin. The second biggest culprit of lines is around your mouth. You want to take your powder, blow out your cheek, the next place I'm going to powder is everywhere else where I didn't conceal or bake. And I'm using my regular face powder. I've had this for years, and this is my MAC Fix Plus powder in the shade NC50. I'm taking a large fluffy powder brush and I'm pressing in where I didn't bake. I'm not going to dust away the excess baking powder, and I'm using a Real Techniques setting brush, and I'm just dusting away any excess translucent powder. That's my setting done. If you don't contour or bronze or whatever the case might be, you would go straight in and just spritz your face with this makeup setting spray, just so that the powdered look can go away and everything can begin to settle in. But I do like to bronze and contour. I like to powder contour. I'm just adding dimension back to my face. Baking sort of made us look quite dull, taking away our natural color. So the bronzing and the contouring will allow us to put this color back. So now I'm gonna bronze, and I'm using my powder from MAC. It's the Sun Power powder. This step is just about me adding color. We have followed the rule of thumb and theory when it comes to makeup application, which is fluids first, powders last. Fluids first, powders last. The only thing I will be doing is reviving my skin, taking away the dry look. And it's also the final process in making sure everything is blended well together. Note that we still have the brightness underneath our eyes that our concealer and baking gave us, and then we have the warmness to our skin that the contouring and bronzing gave us as well. Now we are ready for eyeshadow, eyelashes, highlights, lips, mascara, whatever it is that floats your boat and will make you look extra special. that's it guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Like I said, this is my technique every single time I wear makeup. It's from this point on that I decide on whether or not I'm gonna have full lashes, full glam, or if I'm gonna just do mascara, lip gloss, and call it a day. As I said, my makeup stays like this from morning till night until I need it to come off. But otherwise guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this once again. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and I will see you next time. Bye. No, I'm really just